Today, South Africa's parliament erupted into chaos like never before in its democratic history. It was a bombshell moment that shook the very foundation of the nation's politics, sending tremors from the chamber floor all the way to the streets. The air was heavy with uncertainty, and yet the biggest question still lingers. Who was behind it, and at whose direction? The morning began with a strange tension. Members of parliament whispered among themselves, exchanged anxious glances, and kept checking their phones. Something was off. Everyone sensed that this would not be an ordinary budget debate. What lay ahead was nothing short of a political earthquake, the kind that would leave scars for years. Rumors had been building for weeks that the Hawks, the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, were making headway in uncovering corruption networks. But no one expected the revelations to land inside Parliament itself. When a Justice Department envoy stood and calmly announced that several arrest warrants had already been executed, silence fell for just a second. Then, the chamber exploded. Opposition MPs shot to their feet, shouting, "Name them! Name them now!" On the ANC benches, chaos spread instantly. MPs huddled in groups, whispering urgently, eyes wide with panic. The speaker hammered the gavel repeatedly, but his calls for order were drowned out by the uproar. "Accountability now," some MPs screamed, their voices echoing like a storm rolling through the chamber. And then came the moment that will be etched into history. One MP shouted, "We told you, the thieves are right here in this room." Television cameras cut to President Cyril Ramaphosa. His face was tense, jaw clenched as he leaned toward Justice Minister Ronald Lamola in a hushed exchange. Behind him, ANC Chief Whip Phemi Majidina could be seen urgently mouthing instructions, trying to steady her shaken colleagues. The opposition seized the opportunity. A DA member rose and declared, "We cannot sit in a chamber where those who betrayed the people still legislate. South Africa deserves better. Arrests must happen now, not tomorrow." Within minutes, the DA and smaller parties staged a dramatic walkout. Outside, placards were already being hoisted high, "Arrest the corrupt, arrest them all." Many began to suspect that the opposition might have received advance notice of what was coming. Inside, ANC MPs hit back, accusing the opposition of exploiting a sensitive legal process for cheap political points. But the truth was undeniable. Security sources confirmed that the warrants targeted cases involving billions in corruption, illicit offshore accounts, and shady foreign currency dealings. Even outside the parliamentary complex, the impact was immediate. Police reinforcements were deployed. The Hawks fanned out, raiding ministerial residences and private estates linked to politically connected figures. Political analyst Dr. Namso Kamala, speaking live on air, described the unfolding events as a constitutional earthquake. If the names tied to these warrants were truly at the top level of government, he warned, South Africa could be on the brink of a political realignment unlike anything since the end of apartheid. Media coverage surged like wildfire. News channels ran red countdown clocks on their screens, marking the hours until the first arrests were expected to be confirmed publicly. Anchors called it the most significant accountability moment in post-apartheid South Africa. On social media, the nation roared. Hashtags like #Parliament erupts and #Corruption crackdown trended within minutes. TikTok streams, Twitter threads, and viral memes spread faster than the news itself. Public opinion split down the middle. Some celebrated the dawn of real justice. Others remained skeptical, muttering, "We've seen this before. The small fish get caught. The big ones swim free." As evening approached, Parliament itself could no longer function. With so many opposition MPs absent, legislative business ground to a halt. Finally, the Speaker adjourned the session, declaring that disorder and extraordinary developments had made further work impossible. But the chaos inside Parliament was only the beginning. Outside, demonstrations grew rapidly. Ordinary South Africans carried placards reading, "No one is above the law." Police monitored the protests carefully, but avoided confrontation. Meanwhile, the Hawks released details of the warrants publicly, a deliberate move to block any attempts at interference and to place maximum political risk on those implicated. Still, troubling questions lingered. Why had the president not been fully briefed beforehand? Were the opposition's placards evidence of a coordinated leak? And most importantly, would justice really be served, Or was this yet another carefully staged spectacle? The truth was this: the day marked only the beginning of something much bigger. Parliament's meltdown, the public outrage, the raids, and the relentless media attention had merged into a storm unlike anything seen before. Now the question is, what happens next? Will the most powerful finally face handcuffs? Or will the machinery of politics shield them as it has so many times before? Is this the start of genuine accountability, or just another act in South Africa's long-running theatre of political drama? One thing is certain: the political landscape will never look the same again. The chaos of this day will echo for years, etched into the collective memory of a nation weary of betrayal but still clinging to hope. That is the story of the most dramatic day in South Africa's parliamentary history. A day of shock, chaos, and revelations. A day that left the people asking one burning question: will justice finally prevail, or has the stage merely been set for yet another spectacle?